Welcome back. Market Mastery is live, your one-stop shop to understand the SPY, get some good options trades, look through a few of hot tickers that are going to explode, and then at the end of the day, dial it all back in to get some answers on the charts that you are watching, care about, and want to look at with a quick smash or pass analysis to determine whether or not the opportunity is really there to go long or if it is a figment of your imagination. My goal is to solve your problems so that you don't waste money on bad trades. That's the goal here. Talk a little trading psychology. We obviously will talk the SPY. We'll talk NVIDIA. We'll go through some charts, and we will have you set up and ready to go for the week. I will ask Porter, how many consecutive weeks of bangers on the SPY do we have? Because I am interested in that information. I would love to know. Very excited to get in here. I have Coinbase pulled up right now, and that's one that I do want to focus on because I think that there's some interesting things happening, and there are some very, very interesting upsides ahead of us. Just give me 1 second. Let me get this set up so our friends on Twitter can also join us. Let us be hopeful. Let us be hopeful. Sorry, I need to join this. You can hear me, and that sucks. So sorry about that. All right. As always, get your tickers ready. We are going to play a little smash or pass here at the end. So you want to make sure that you know exactly which tickers you want to dive into, which charts you want to see, and what trades you're most interested in talking about. Have them ready. When the time is right, I shall share it. We are going to start with the SPY here, and then we will go into Coinbase, and we will talk NVIDIA. SPY is shaping up once again to continue to the upside, which is, a little bit insane, but once again, it's we've nailed it week in, week out for a number of weeks. I want to say it's over 20 in a row. I also want to talk a little GameStop because I think we were really on to something. As we talked about that chart and started talking about that chart, was it last week or so? So we'll get into that one as well. So as always, if you're new here, please type new in the chat. We like to give away free stuff here. We like to give away free memberships here. Unfortunately, on Twitter, we have not been able to get a hold of a few of you that have won a free membership in our coaching program, which is phenomenal. We'll teach you 4 in-depth strategies that will master the market very quickly. We want to make sure that we get you access. So if we can't get a hold of you, we move on to the next one. But as always, drop a ticker. If you're on Twitter, I do believe you can comment to the stream from the post that was just shared on our timeline, or you can jump over to YouTube where you can easily comment back and forth. I want to make sure that you guys get access to what you owed because we are posting those in the Discord daily, and we have given away. So, all right. So we have 36 weeks consecutively with options wins on the SPY that have absolutely crushed. Unbelievable. Let's make it 37 consecutive weeks of SPY options dominance. Love that. So make sure you join from that link. You should be able to drop comments. If you're on Twitter and you want to run a quick test right now, feel free to drop a comment, say what's up. Again, if you're new, type new in the chat. If you're in Discord, please type your Discord username. We're not just giving away free stuff to people who don't know us. We're also giving away some fun stuff to those of you that have been with us along the ride. I like to take care of y'all, and I love you. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the SPY. Let me get this pulled up here. We'll type that right in the chat. After you drop that information, if you're new, type new in the chat. We have some free stuff to give away. If you've been with us a while, type your Discord username so we know you're here. We can thank you for supporting us and give away some free stuff. Let's make this chart a little bit bigger here so that we can get on in there. So we're going to start with the SPY today. Again, this is the bullish support that must hold, 515. We nailed that level. Again, last week we were on the weekly chart. Let's go to the daily. We were talking SPY calls. We were talking above 515. We were aiming for 519. That hit. We talked about at 524, we would be going bearish. That was our target right there, coming down to 519. Nailed it. And then guess what? If that support holds, we talked about going bullish again back to 524. What do you know? It hit once, then it hit twice. Twice in a row. Twice is nice. 2 separate trades, over 100% on the table for you. If you took those, absolutely got to follow these trades. I expect for you guys to have your charts up or have your notebook out so that you can write these levels and basically mimic these levels on your chart, draw exactly what I'm drawing. Again, technical analysis does not have to be complicated. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it using only two horizontal lines to create a range. And from there, you will become the master of your domain. So once again, we traded down off of our peak there. We are now watching 519 as support on the SPY. We are sitting in the middle of no man's land, hoping for a retracement down to support, where we will carry out until we hit this long-term trend support, which is this bright blue line here. Oh, yes. So Porter takes wonderful notes. Those will be posted in the Discord. That channel is, I believe, free and accessible to everyone. You can get it by the link below. My goal is to, look, man, high tide raises all ships. I want you guys to make some money here. I don't feel the need to put up a paywall. It's good information, so that's why we give it to you for free. But if you want to learn the strategies, that's a different story. But at the very least, I want to make sure that you guys make some money, and then you come join the community, because that is, at the end of the day, the best possible thing in the world. For all of you that are here and members, I absolutely love you. You guys are the best. So basically what we're looking at in the SPY here is we're sitting kind of in the middle of nowhere. We're sitting in no man's land. So the question is, what do we do with this? How do we trade this and make money? Well, the answer is we either trade the downside to 519 or we sit and wait for the breakout over 524. You might ask, why don't we trade up to the upside of 524? Well, a $2 move on the SPY isn't going to get it done for us, guys. It's not going to really make us any money, and the amount of risk we'd have to take to do it isn't worth the nonsense. So you can see that over the last week, SPY has followed our range to the T with multiple opportunities to make money, pushing as high as 525.91 and then selling off to about 521. So 521 is an interesting point. If you can see my mouse right here, watch as I scroll across. We hit the tops of all these candles, right? So basically what we've started to do is we've created a midline for this range, which the bottom is here, 519, 518. The top is here, 524. And we're trading right above the midline, right? Which we can see is about 521, because that was resistance here, and then guess what? It's support here. So now that we're sitting right about 521, what I think we're first going to watch for is we're going to watch for a nice little bullish continuation play. So let's talk about that. If 521.16 holds, right? If that holds, let's move this line on up here. Let's shrink this range a little bit. If we can stay at 521, which again, when we broke out before, we came right to what? 521. And then guess what? When we broke below, went to 519 and below. So we know now, looking at this, that if 521 doesn't hold, we're going to head down from here. So there's no reason to hold a bullish position if we break below 521. That would be stupid. So we're not going to be stupid, and we're not going to do that. What we are going to do is we're going to basically load up a bullish position if we test support and hold at 521. And we're going to dive into exactly what that would look like. But first, we're going to understand what would our target be. I'd say 524 is what we shoot for, with potential to hit 525. So in looking at our SPY bullish scenario, 424. Let's break down what options specifically we would trade in this scenario. So we're going to flip over to good old Robinhood here. Again, we always go 2, 3, 4 weeks out on expiration. You don't want to be buying next day expiration stuff and get beat to death. 18 days will do. That's April 19th, just before 420. So if you want to light it up, hopefully you've taken profit and your weed is paid for. Let's make sure that happens. Little expensive here, looking at the 524 calls, dated that far out. So it would more than likely have to be a spread, meaning you'd buy one at 524 and you would then go to sell, and then you'd sell the 525, which creates a total cost for you of 55 cents or $55 for the contract. So basically, that's your best case scenario to minimize risk but still take advantage. The upside would be opening up a debit spread. If you don't know how to do that, again, the Discord link's below. We cover all that in the free education. Get in there and take advantage so you can learn this stuff, because again, it's a great way to manage risk. So let's say we're looking at these 524 calls trading at about 495 or so. Not too much appreciation to see in terms of arbitrage. We have to really shoot for the sky there. I don't mind the 528 should we see breakout. So let's talk two scenarios here. Yes, let's just break this down. So what I like right here is if we get support test and we hold at 521, I like the 524s, which means guess what? These will also be cheaper at this time. But if we can really push up, I think 527 is in sight. Definitely in sight. You know what? Let's figure that out. Let's go to the 4 hour. Oh, and delete that. And that's not what I meant to do. There we go. So we're going to the 4 hour. Let's build a little retracement here and let's get an estimation on target. What level do I want to use? I know there's a lot on the chart. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get overwhelmed. It'll be okay. Let's use this and just get an idea. It's 529.65. I like that. I'll take it. That'll work. And I think that that's pretty damn accurate. 528 wouldn't be insane. So really, we have two options here. I think for the bullish scenario, right? Number one would be that we hold support and then we push back up. And in that, we could take a little bit of risk and shoot for the 524. You could take a little more risk, lower your cost by shooting for 528. I think it's possible that we continue sideways, get a springboard, and then hit. Because we're looking for trend support. I think these prices are always, remember, it's the dog walking on the sidewalk. The dog goes left, goes right. It always crosses back across the middle. That's how this works. You find these points of confluence where the price meets with other, I guess, technical indicators, right? It's almost like it's gravity pulling the price towards it. So you could see that our levels have always functioned as gravity, pulling the price towards them, both on the upside and the downside. So what we can expect here is for this long term, and remember, the more time you involve in drawing a trend line, like if you have a trend line that's 3 years old, it has even stronger gravity. Does that make sense? Mike and E, yes or no, or somebody. Does that make sense? The longer the time that is involved, the more gravity it holds. So if it's a trend line drawn over 3 years, right? That trend line is going to be stronger, much like a bridge, much more stable, but it's also going to have a stronger pull towards itself for the price, because investors, buyers are looking for that as a place of stability. So what do? They wait to buy until it hits. And when it hits, they start buying. And when they start buying, that support holds. When that support holds, then all the other buyers come in the market and say, well, I guess that's support. This is the buy here. Let's buy from the bottom. So this blue line has a pretty strong gravity to it. So let's trade on this on the estimation that we're going to find that line again, because I think that's where we're going to head. So we're either buying at 521 support, or we're buying off the support here, which could be 521, 522 once we hit this trend support. We talked about the 524 calls. I think those are interesting, a little bit safer, but a little more costly. I also think it's worth exploring the 528 or 527 calls, would be even less risky. But I like these 528s a little more. A little bit. No, the open interest is better. It's $50, so it's 10% difference in premium. I could see these. I can see the 527 hitting, so let's add that to the watch list so we can keep an eye on it. I think these 527 calls are going to be the move going forward. So we're looking at the that would be the SPY 527 call dated 4/18, with the opportunity to buy being at support right here or here, as long as we hold. So last week we talked a lot about confirmation and what does it look like. So let's make sure everybody's at a clear understanding of what that means, because I don't ever want you to be looking at this stuff and wondering and then making a terrible decision. So confirmation looks like this, right? Price pushes down to support at 521. Buyers pick it back up and push it all the way back up. And if we go to the 30-minute, which is what I definitely use more than anything else, this is what confirmation looks like. This is confirmation of a breakout, right? It booms over this horizontal line. That was our resistance right here. Booms above it. Candle closes above that line. That's Confirmation, right? Right here, we sell off. Sellers push us down to 521 and change. Buyers pick up the price right there. Confirmation. Second confirmation right here when buyers couldn't push it below 521 and change. So two confirmations that that support is stable and is likely to hold. Not guaranteed, but likely. I also like that we're getting a little bit of curl right there. That's always a good sign. And you want to see it consolidating in this range, right? You want to see it consolidating above the midline. Because remember, this range goes from 524 to 518 or so. And we are now above the middle. Look at this like RSI, right? If the RSI is above 50, it's typically a better indication that we're going bullish. If RSI is below 50, different story. And then if we actually look at the RSI, right here we went as low as about 24. And then if you look right here, we only went down to about 28. So that's, again, another piece of confirmation. Here's low number one, low number two. So we got a higher low, confluence, right? They both are telling us convergence. They're telling us the same thing. So that's a good sign for SPY as a trend as a whole, on the trend for the trend as a whole. So looking at that, it tells us that a bullish position wouldn't be too crazy. So again, there's still some downside until we meet our long-term trend line, but I really like both that 524 and I also like that 528 for a little bit more risk. For those of you that are a little more adventurous, I would say is like a great day trade opportunity. If you're trading those basically like next week out, you can see the price is a lot cheaper, right? But theta is a lot greater. Sorry, I'm going to be on the buy side. But the theta decay is going to kill you. These are not contracts I would ever hold overnight. Oh my God, you can't see this tab. These are not contracts I would ever hold overnight. These are simply ones that, like, you know, if I'm in the moment taking a day trade, 7 days out, it makes sense to buy it and sell it within a few hours. That's a good opportunity. Just trust the levels. That's all I ask is if you take those riskier trades, trust these levels. Mark these on your chart or save this stream so that you can watch it forever and master these levels so that you fully understand them. That is the key here. If you don't understand these levels, it's never going to work out for you. So that's what I think as far as the SPY. I think that bullish scenario is fantastic. On the bearish side, I don't see much of a trade materializing here other than the 518 puts. So to flip back over here, if we're looking at this, we want to go at least a couple weeks out. Let's go April 19th, right before 420. As always, that's a good date. And we are currently trading about here. So I would say 518 is the most attractive. That would be about $300. That'd be the 518 put for April 19th. So if we get rejected and break below 521, I'll be trading the 518 put because we should come down and find support and confirmation here. That would be a fantastic trade to the downside. It would be a nice, easy move. So again, if we break down right here, so if we're getting rejected here and we get confirmation that we're breaking down, which means that 30-minute candle closed below this line, then we're going to trade the 518 puts all the way down to support. That should be an easy money trade. You should easily make money on that should you take that trade. So that's our bear and bull scenario for the SPY. Let's get into some of these other tickers because I think they are a little more exciting. Coinbase being at the top of that list. Sorry, I switched to Apple on accident. So we've got Coinbase here. And again, if you want to have this kind of technical analysis done for you, you can just sign up and use StocksBuddy. StocksBuddy.com/tradingview. Where I would go because that kind of gives you a video, and I think it's 4/19, Nikki. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, it's April 19th. It's just 18 days away. So it's April 19th expiration. That's the indicator we're using. Again, gives you bull and bear signals. Extremely effective on the weekly chart. Bear signal or bullish. I've been sneezing all day. Gave the bullish signal on Coinbase. If you put $100 into this, you basically turned it into $200. Easy as that. You buy one share. Bullish signal was given right here. It's around $100, $140 since then. Phenomenal indicator, especially in the bigger time frames, but also incredibly effective for those that day trade, where you get clean, clear-cut signals like this. The 260 buy, it ran to 285. Easy trades there. So take advantage of technology like this that can make your life a hell of a lot easier and handles the analysis for you if either you don't have the time or you're not as confident to manage it. So definitely take a look at that. It's phenomenal. It's the only indicator I use. So I like what we have at 245. I'm going to turn this off for a second. I just want to see clean price action. So 262 is going to be kind of a battleground level for us. We need to really hold above 262 before we can head to 300 plus, which is a long-term estimation and target. 222 downside. I would say between there it's 213 to 260. We could see that this was a pretty critical resistance, but it easily broke above. It held as support. Then we came up and we really struggled to make ends meet above 261. So I think if Coinbase holds above 249, we have strong upside to the future. I think we're heading back to 300 if we can maintain. If not, then it's going to be a difficult road for Coinbase. So this is one chart I would definitely have at the top of your watch list and pay very close attention to. I'm still holding my shares from our trade alert at $70. Again, if you want those alerts delivered to you, the link to the Discord's in the floating across the bottom of the screen. We were buying this at $70, and I'm still holding it because I do think there is more upside. If we go and we just do a quick little trend line here, we can see that we did break and violate trend line drawn back to February. However, from a long-term perspective, we have definitely a little more downside to go, but I think even more to the upside. So pay very close attention to that. You can see right here that this is kind of the last stand. If you draw off the bottom of the wicks, really we saw a big rebound right here, which is pretty interesting. And now we're seeing a hopeful support test here. But above 261 is really what we need to see on this name. We have to see Coinbase above 261 or we're just kind of punching ourselves in the face. And I don't think there's that much opportunity. If we can't hold it, we're going to head back to 200 and we're going to consolidate, which wouldn't be the worst thing for the health of the stock, right? But we just want to see more upside. Again, 320 is on my radar. That's really where I'd like to see this thing go. And as long as we can stay above 260, I think that potential is definitely there, and it's definitely going to happen. But once again, we need to see this hold 260 to really see any material upside on Coinbase. I would like to actually also take a look at what I hate the NASDAQ's terrible website, but I would like to see. So coin. I would like to see what Coinbase's earnings projections will be. Is that way we can kind of build our trade for the long term. So that was this quarter. Actually expected to start making money. So it's very positive. Again, the reason for the boom, guys, the move happens before the move happens, if that makes sense. These earnings were not expected to be as good as they were, right? But obviously someone knew they were. Earnings were abysmal before this. Why did the stock run well before these earnings? What do you think insiders do, man? Use your brain. The stock always runs in the quarters leading up to what they expect to be the big boom. So now they're going to post consistent revenues, which would be great, especially if they beat expectations by this much. Then we could continue to see more upside. But the trade for Coinbase is going to be right here, right now, not after those earnings statements are released. So once again, the earnings run came months in advance, right? It happened well before the earnings were ever announced or released. And you can almost expect that to be true across the board for any company. You want to trade the run up to earnings and then capture any bonus gains afterwards, just like we did with NVIDIA. We were buying at 140 with a target of 250 to $300, right? Now, those earnings we expected to be good. We did not know how good they would be. So when NVIDIA just exploded to $700, or sorry, north of 400 after those earnings and then just kept going, all we did was hold on for the ride. But we were in such a good position leading up to those earnings that we were able to take that risk and hold on and see unfathomable additional appreciation on the position. Because that's the whole thing. You don't want to get stuck in a bad position. So basically, I think right here, right now, guys, this is a good spot to be in for Coinbase. So let's just watch it continue from here. To take a quick look at NVIDIA, because I know that everyone's been curious and wondering. We're kind of teetering here. We really need to see a strong move up this week, or I think that this is going to be a little bit dangerous. Stocks Buddy just went bear on the daily, which I don't love, but still bullish on the weekly. If we stay above 857, that's the level we've been discussing. Personally, I'd like to see this above 900. I think it's a pretty important psychological level to maintain. You can see that we pushed a little bit to 920. And then we sold off, which is unfortunate. But, inflows were good. Looks like volume was there. It's just a matter of keeping a close eye on this one. We had a pretty big boom yesterday. Or 2 days. Was that yesterday? Was that today? Nope, that was this morning. Yeah, when it was running to 921. So I would just say that if NVIDIA holds up here above 900, we're going to definitely head back up into 940, 950. It's just a matter of holding on tight. I don't have to worry because, again, my cost basis for NVIDIA is 250. So I'm not worried about that. And I'm going to just keep letting it ride, man. I think this is definitely the move here. So be careful. And for those of you chasing the other unrelated or the other related names like SMCI, just keep in mind that quality, although a quality name, keep in mind how much this is up, right? Especially relative to NVIDIA. And we showed last week, here's your long-term trend support. You're now trending below it. You want to see SMCI above this line because that's where your upside lies. If it's not, then you're basically going against, you're fighting the trend. You don't want to be fighting the trend ever. You don't want to be fighting the resistance or the trend. It's just going to be a bad deal. So be very careful. And start prepping your names for Smash or Pass. If you're on Twitter, again, you can go to the actual live stream and you can drop a comment on the live stream, or you can join us on YouTube and you can give us your question there. But as always, if you want to be entered to win for the free stuff, make sure to repost this stream and obviously tag us in it. We appreciate that. Everybody on Twitter, if you're able to do that, repost the stream, tag us in it. We're going to go through those and we're going to be giving away some free stuff. We're going to choose 2 or 3 of you. I think we still have 1 left over from last week, so we'll definitely do 3. So make sure you repost that and tag us in it so that way we can enter you there and you can get access to some free stuff, which would be pretty cool. So right before we get into Smash or Pass, we're going to talk a little GameStop. So please get your tickers ready. So for those of you that were there, we nailed it. I was live for the earnings announcement, and we were trading the live announcement for GameStop, and we absolutely crushed it because it played perfectly to the levels. We talked about the break below 13. We were going to trade this down to 11.95. Would you know, sure as that, it's going down to 11.50. So we absolutely nailed that. We talked about this only being really a good opportunity to buy if we're trading above 13 or so. I mean, that's really the difficulty here, is that if it's not trading above 13, you're really just in a bad position. You don't want to be in a bad position, so don't put yourself in one. At the end of the day, you want to be smart about this. You want to make money doing this, then don't buy when the opportunity to buy isn't there. I understand. I believe in the movement. I love the idea, but at the end of the day, it's your bank account on the line, and it's you playing against some very rich people that are not having it. So we've got a strong bullish support here, 11.93. We really need to see this hold. For those of you that are holding this one long and strong and you really care about it, you believe in it, this is the key level that you need to absolutely focus on. It needs to be your number one priority, because if we cannot hold 11.88, give or take, right? Give it a few cents, take a few cents. If these cannot hold, the run is over for right now. I mean, you're talking your next opportunity to is $9.90. Below that's even worse, $4.48. So keep that in mind. We've already, look at this. So this was the past run. This is when it exploded before. Remember, it was trading around $4 or $5. So we were buying this at like $4.20, $4.15, $4, $3.90, waiting for this run up. Okay, it exploded. I sold some at 10. I held the rest to 400 plus. So I've looked at this ticker inside and out. If we can't hold here, $10.31, the next stop is $4. So keep that in mind. This whole run, this whole time, has basically been damn near erased to the point where we've revisited $4 or $5. So that being said, this is really the last opportunity to maintain the upside captured by the breakout. And that would be by holding above 11 and change. If we can't hold there, it is over. So keep this on the top of your list to watch, focus on right here, $11 and change. If you can't hold here, don't play here. If this cannot come back above 13, I would not touch it with the 10-foot pole because you're going to get beaten down to $4 and you're not going to like it. When a stock goes down 50%, you need it to run 100% just to get your money back. That doesn't even account for the lost opportunity of not having your money into other names that are going to make you money. Once again, if a stock is trading at $10 and it drops to 50%, you now need that stock to double from where it is in order for you to break even. Not just make money, break even. So if we can't hold on GameStop here, $11.90 or so, our next stop is going to be hopefully $9. Below that, the next opportunity to hold really is like $4.37. So take it from the person who made a lot of money trading this one and obsessively looked at this chart. Be very careful if it breaks here because it's going to be very dangerous and it'll be a bad trade. If it can hold above 13, there's some discussion for upside because, to be honest, their fiscal year results were not bad. They actually grew. Not saying that there's a long-term future here, but what I am saying is they grew. Everything is relative and it's worth looking at. Is it undervalued? I think it could be. But follow the technicals, trust the technicals. They help you time your approach. You don't want to get caught sitting in this for 3 years because there's going to be other opportunities that would have made you a lot more money. So focus on, how do I trade this range appropriately? Okay, well, I'm going to put an alert on TradingView or whatever your brokerage is, or Get Stocks, buddy. It'll tell you by itself. It doesn't even need you to do all this. When it breaks above $13, I think it's a buy if it holds. Then you can aim for 15. That's a nice 10%. From there, opportunity is 17, right? Now you're talking. That's 30, 40% upside. If it runs, as you can see, it's moved from 20 to 27 in virtually no time. There's huge upside to like $22. Double your money, double your fun. If it can hold above 13 and then break 15. So again, for GameStop, that's how I would trade this. That's how I would play this. I'm proud to say that this stock has never beat me. So if you're down bad, it's probably worth taking a listen and evaluating what your position, because you do not want to have to keep buying down. You do not want to have to sit and hold it forever. Once again, we've given up all of our gains all the way back down to here. So that's worth keeping in mind. And I think everyone should keep that in mind because it's very important to know that. Because if it keeps going from here, it's going to be a bad deal. So that's pretty much it. And we're going to keep moving on. So some of you dropped your tickers. Again, we're going to play a little smash or pass. You drop the tickers in the chat. I just ask you drop one at a time. Drop as many as you want, just one at a time. And we're going to go through those charts. Is there really 200 people watching this right now? Hey, you guys are on Twitter. Can you guys comment on here? For those watching on Twitter, is there any way you guys can comment on here? I'd like to know if you guys are really on here. If it's just showing me total views, it'd be cool to know. Sorry, my voice just like just gave out there for a minute. And that was it. So sorry about that. All right, so we're going to play a little smash or pass. Drop your ticker. Just drop one at a time. Feel free to drop as many as you like. We get through as many as we can. This is where you give me the chart you want to look at, that you care about, that you're holding on to, that you're looking into, whatever. and we decide whether or not the opportunity is there to go long with a simple and quick analysis, giving you quick insight that will increase the value of your life. So fast here, I think we've talked about this one before. I don't think I liked it before, even though it broke out and proved me wrong. I don't know anything about this company, but that breakout over 50 is pretty optimistic. I'd say 64 is kind of the next point to watch. Above there, it's pretty much make-out, breakout mode. So let's take a quick look. Let's do a little retracement guy. So it's trading above 76. Look at these fib retracements and just kind of take them in as potential levels to watch. I think 94 becomes attractive if it's above 76. So it does look like it's about to sell off, though, just between us girls here. RSI topped out, so I'm going to go ahead and say no. This thing's got some downside incoming, and then it should continue to the upside because it's just been on an absolute tear. I have no idea what this company does, but it looks pretty unbelievable. Ray Garceau, thank you. Cool. Somebody on X is able to drop a comment. Thank God. I wasn't sure if you guys on X are able to do that. So if you have a ticker, drop in the chat, and we'll go into it. Just leave a comment on that original post on our timeline, and you should be able to do that. So Kahinde, my guy, unfortunately, I think for this one, it's going to be a pass, dude. I think that the opportunity was there. If you got in on it, congratulations, my friend. But I missed it, and right now I don't think the opportunity is really there. It's not even holding right there. It just looks like it's going to sell off. Look at that. You get that little curl to the downside. The RSI confirms it. It just looks like it's a little exhausted and needs to sell off a little bit. So you're right the first time, because I think I remember you bringing this one up, and it absolutely slapped. Yeah, this one's interesting. Weed play, the weed plays are interesting, and I really need to make a full decision on mine. I would say that this thing's definitely gone bullish. It's not a bad company. This is one of the companies that we interviewed and talked to, and was one of our sponsored partners. I do like them. I like their brand. I like what they're about. And I will say that right now this chart doesn't look that bad above 282. So I think you definitely got some opportunity there. Seeing as boom to the upside on the weed news. Just obviously take precautions, because the weed market is an insane one. So I'm gonna tell you right now that I think this one's gonna be because I know Mr. I'm All In KAVL is doing it for his class project or whatever. So I'll tell you, you get it above 280. I mean, I hope you go to the moon, man, and you make tons of money and you win your whole thing, because I think above 280 that there's really a huge opportunity there. It's just a matter of staying above 280 and not selling off. So trade that one carefully. Be safe. Wreck-It Ralph, my man Cools, one of our newer lifetime members. Congratulations, my friend. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the other side. If you don't mind this chart. Question is, how are they going to navigate a new world? I guess they're writing the mortgage, so the real estate broker stuff doesn't really impact them. Depends how much lending they do. I know my friend works here, and he told me they're still doing some lending. I actually like this 12 to 16 range. I think that's pretty clean. I don't like that we're right in the middle. So as far as the trade right now, I'm not a big fan, just because of where it's at on the chart. But above 16, I think the potential is definitely there. I mean, keep in mind, this thing ran as high as $43 back in, what was that, February of 21, when this thing went public and everything was going crazy. This thing ran to $43. So I definitely think it's worth paying attention to, worth taking a look at. I would say that right now I'm not a big fan of the buy at this moment, but I do like some of this long term. I wonder what their projection is on earnings. My daughter's been really into Wreck-It Ralph, so I can only think Wreck-It Ralph when I see that RKT. So it's a little weird thing, but there it is. Ooh. Ooh. Is there a long-term options trade here for us? Very interesting. No estimates have changed. I guess I don't like being tied to the performance of the housing market, though. It scares the hell out of me. But what did we just talk about, guys? The earnings trade happens quarters before the earnings report comes out. This might be an opportunity. So they haven't reported Q1 of 24. What I would be entering the trade for would be this Q2, Q3, Q4 run up. So Cools, you might have found a winner. I think you found one like last week or so too. That was pretty damn interesting. I think that, yeah, dude, this is a good find. Just the earnings juice alone looks like May 24th. So this might be the opportunity to start layering into a position. This one actually might be quite interesting. So keep your eyes on the Discord. I'm going to kind of dive even deeper into this and try to find a nice long-term trade for us. I think the opportunity definitely could be here. I hate the real estate market, but I get it. Richest people I know did it. I just am not a big fan of it. God damn, my voice, man. I was talking too much too quickly, so we're gonna chill it out, slow it down. Slow it down here. Again, if you guys are on X, just comment on the existing live stream link on Twitter or X, whatever, and you should be able to comment to us on the stream. We just had somebody do it, which is awesome. I got to see which one you went and commented on. Oh man, my allergies are bad. So yeah, this is going to be really interesting. This is going to be one we're going to have to dive a little deeper on. Good find, my man Cools. Like I said, one of our newest lifetime members. Congratulations, my friend. Access to all 4 coaches. Free Stocks Play membership for life. It's a beautiful deal. All right. And let's keep going down this list. Very interesting. NDAQ wants to talk NASDAQ. Let's talk NASDAQ here. NASDAQ. They need to rebuild their damn website. Ooh, I feel like this chart could go either way. I love that, but I also hate it. North of 55 is in good standing for the long term, but I'd say 60 is more important. $62 to $66 and then $72. The upside really is sorry. Yeah, there's some opportunity here. Again, I don't treat the fib levels as God, but they do give you a pretty good idea of where to start. And I think that is pretty spot on. That would just basically put off these highs here, etc. Right there. 69 would be your target. You can see a nice 10% move. Great long-term equity position to hold. I would say north of 60, it's not a bad hold. So you're going to get it here, my friend. It is a conditional smash, though. 'Tis a conditional smash. All right, Rokunius. Let's see. Interesting name. This is one of my most fun trades ever in my life. Oh my God, this is so fun. We were buying this at $63, right? COVID downside, we were buying this 60, 65, 70. This thing went to $484, right? So it made a ton of money. The best part is when we hit 430 and these TV manufacturers started to basically do what Roku does, we bought $150 puts, dated a year and a half out. And then it popped again. And then I sold them when we hit like 160 in price, right? These puts were up like, I think it's about 4,000% all said and done. turned like a couple $100 into many thousands. That was one of my favorite trades. That's one of my best long to shorts I've ever done in my life. But now, very interesting because we're trading in a very interesting area where the price has always seemed to hold and pick up. Now, ROKU had trend strength, but lost it. So the question is, will it continue to accumulate and consolidate in this range, or is it soon to be beheaded? In order to determine this, we will allow the earnings to dictate our future expectations, and it does look like earnings are expected to improve, meaning they're going to lose less money. So I think that there is something interesting here. I just don't necessarily know what, and right now I don't know if I'd be willing to take the risk on something like that. But then the same token, it's like I love finding these long-term consolidation levels like this that really make sense. Go against my better judgment here. Very conditional. Very conditional. Keep that in mind. So, quick question as we take a momentary pause. Are we having fun yet? Are we having fun yet? God, I wish I could say it like he does. Are we having fun yet? Are we having fun yet? I can't remember how he said it. It was amazing. But if you haven't seen Party Down, you absolutely should. It's a fantastic show. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. You guys got a lot of them today. Let's get to this one real quick. So I'm going to make sure our Twitter friends are getting some love. Mr. Ray Garceau, how you living, baby? Mara's interesting. This one I'm also still holding long. This range is like the easiest trade I've ever taken in my life, and I've done it with my long-term portfolio. Anytime we hit 560, 570, I just buy it. Why? Because you nail it. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're heading back to the upside. So we have pretty strong trend support here that I really, really enjoy. And again, if you don't want to have to do technical analysis on your own, you don't have to. Just use a tool like Stocks Buddy, which basically, if you go to like the monthly chart for stuff like this, look at how easy that is. It gives you the same buy that I've been watching for years at $5. This thing ran to $33. That's a 600% return on one trade since April of February of 23. So in 1 year, you made basically 600%. So if you put $1,000 in there, you're at 60 grand. Wait, no, 6 grand. Jesus, sorry. Over 6 grand. So basically 6x your money. So if you're not using tools like this that are so cheap compared to what you'll make, you should be. I'm gonna just have to say it because I can't turn away from this chart and this trend support. Like, it's getting the smash. It just needs to stay where she is. I like to think of this one as delectable. Delectable, delightful. Let's keep going here. Go through these and go back to these. HSY. Never heard of it. The Hershey Company. I feel like this is one I'm going to pass on, and then everybody's going to be pissed, and then it's going to run. That trend support, why did that have to happen? I don't know what the hell Hershey does, man. I don't know anything about Hershey. I don't buy Hershey's chocolate. Oh, man. See, their PE is still 20, which isn't good. Everybody's downgrading it to 208. It's trading below that. Although the chart is like a straight up bottom feeder delight. God damn it. On the monthly, it's just been waiting. Same with the weekly. Ugh, damn it. I think it's actually a go long here. God, why do you have to do this to me? I don't even want to like this one. But the opportunity is too good. It's an easy long-term equity, 20%. God damn it. Why'd you have to do that to me? But I think we're going to go long and strong here at $200. Or sorry, we're below 200. So long and strong from 195-ish. If you shoot the middle, I'd be aiming for about 220 and then 240 and then basically the old high is 250. So this should be a nice 20-25% equity swing. I'm going to go ahead and pop this in there right now. So we are facing the 200-day, which is at about $200. So if we can't break above 200, this is going to be a dead in the water kind of trade. I guess I'd buy this down to 186, 187. So Porter, just for this, I think it's like it's an okay buy right here, but I'm going to save some capital for a buy down to 186. Wait, they're on the nicey. So let's preview their. Let's go. Let's preview their earnings first. Give me a second. Come on. Nope. I want to be on the nicey, and we're going to go. All of their websites are not great. Is the NASDAQ? Wow, the nicey's is way better than NASDAQ. But I don't see a way to go to. I don't see a way to go to their earnings. Sorry. Let me see. Oh, it pays a dividend, doesn't it? This one's very interesting. It's actually not a bad trade. Oh my God, yep. So expectation of growth on earnings, one revision down, which isn't good, but they'll struggle a little bit leading up to quarter two. But if they perform well in the next, they've made money. Wow. Yeah, this is I think we're gonna do a go long here, guys. I actually like that. So I think it's Mike, I think it's an ad here. I mean, below 200, and then we just need to stay cognizant that we may have to buy down to 186 with the long-term outlook. So we buy down to 186, which we shoot for 220 plus. It should be a nice 10%. Again, it also pays a dividend, so it's not a bad name to hold long-term. I don't know how much dividend it pays. It's like a spooky snowflake question because you guys are all about that dividend life. That's really the only risk is this long-term trend line, which would be like 150s, 160s, which would definitely diminish their growth cycle. Like they really need to continue at this pace to see upside here. But I don't. Why the sell-off in 2023? Does anybody know? It's still worth looking at. But why the sell-off is a good question. So Hershey's getting a hard smash. God, my allergies suck. Good. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's look at rum. Rumblink. Oh, this one's going on a little bit of a tear. So keep in mind, this one was a smash at $4. It's up about 70% from here. So I'm not touching it right now. I'm going to pass on this because it's too much risk. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to look at it. Too much madness for me. So Trump Media Technology Company, look, it's a promise of a maybe in the future. The technical setup is pretty clear, right? So if it can hold above 32, it's a decent bullish setup. But what I will also say is that right now they've delivered effectively no value. So I think that it's a name that's run so much that you just got to walk away for now, because I just don't think there's a bunch of promise value, but there's no real value. So until you see the real value, I'd be very careful when it's run this much. Now, if you're buying it at 12, 13 bucks, where clearly it was consolidating and people were building up a base, sure. But we're trading at 3 times that. So be very mindful of that. Even though it ran to 100 in the past, that's COVID money, guys. Don't expect the same thing again. Be very careful with names like this. Puts wise, yeah, you could trade this down to 31. I mean, I would be a little careful, but if it goes below 40, then definitely. I think it's definitely likely to come down to 27 or so. So below 40, I think you got a clean shot to 27. That would be pretty easy. But the cup and handle situation is materializing here, where this could rip and run, especially if it just has the retail attention that it has, where it just explodes. So be very careful with that. Unless it's like cash secured put situation or something like that. So, all right. I love y'all. Stay blessed now. Bye-bye.